figured out why. The ones who killed my family. They've given me a reason to live. I'm back. And it's their turn to die. Every muzzle flash means one more monster gone. There's nothing to help you when the darkness falls. Now it's my turn.
Hey guys, I'm here today with a new series of videos I'm going to be doing called Blast from the Past. Let's face it, there's so many games I'd love to do walkthroughs and let's plays for, but I don't have the time to go through them all. So I've decided to do videos where I look at some of my favorite games growing up and kind of give you a preview for them. Who knows, you maybe find the games will interest you too and you'll pick them up from your local retro game store or something. Don't worry, I'll still be doing my other full playthroughs of games and my wrestling videos and things like that. I'm still going to be doing those as well. Just this way I'll be able to diversify a lot more games I'm going to be doing on the channel. So my first game that I wanted to do the Blast from the Past for is The Punisher on PlayStation 2. I really like this game and it gave me a reason to pick it back up. The Punisher was developed by Volition and published by THQ, rest in peace. THQ had quite a few good games back then on the PS2 aside from the wrestling games. It's basically the classic Punisher story. The Mafia killed his family, he's looking to take them all down one by one. It's a Max Payne style game. It's third person action. It had really good torture and interrogation stuff in the game. It came out in 2004, 2005. I think it was 2005. And it had a lot of really good villains like the Russian and Kingpin. It got a lot of mixed reviews when it came out. I believe IGN gave it like a 7 or an 8. A lot of other places gave it kind of like a 6, around there. But I really enjoyed the game and thought it was fun. But basically, like, the whole game is told from like he gets picked up by a couple of cops, and while he's waiting on his lawyer, they kind of sit there and ask him, you know, hey, what happened this night? What happened this night? And that's basically the missions that you do. You're being interrogated by the police.
Carjackers and chop shops go together like cops and dogs.
I don't deserve this shit! Reloading! Cover me!
The game was pretty violent. Like, it has like interrogation things. Like, you see the guy with the skull over his head. If you were to grab him, you can interrogate him and you get information, and sometimes it helps. Like, sometimes you'll grab a guy and like you'll interrogate him and he'll be like, hey, I'll go in here and tell the guys you're dead or something like that, and he'll go in there and tell them, and they'll all like celebrate or put their guns down and stuff like that, and you can get an advantage. Or you can just do like I'm doing right now and just beat the crap out of the guy for having green hair and blue hair. But basically, like, and then you can take them over to certain spots. I really love the quick kills. There's certain spots that highlight that you can take them over to, and it does like some really brutal deaths and interrogations things. It used to, I believe this game was got an adults only rating at first when it first started, and they had to censor some of the stuff because it does like a black and white shaky cam when you go to do the finishing moves on people. And I think that was their way of, like, just like Manhunt did, where they get out of getting it, that way they can get an M rating instead of an adult rating.
I don't deserve this shit!
something to the parts and back. Please let me go.
Good worker. Kept his nose to the grindstone.
I'm telling you, the guy's a dick.
Yeah, who the hell's he think he is?
I've been made for 15 years. He can't boss me around.
This game had a lot of really cool locations for the missions. Like, they had places from like crack houses to the zoo where I'm at now to Rikers Island, and you run into a lot of not that many, but you do run into some hero characters. I think Tony Stark's in it, and a lot of villains like Bullseye and stuff. So you get a bar here. You're supposed to keep it within the orange there, that way the guy breaks, and if you go over, you pretty much accidentally kill the guy. But you can, as soon as he's broken like this right here, you can choose to let him go or finish him off another way, or you can throw him in like I did. See, this was their way of censoring it a little bit, that way they could get their mature rating. This game also had really good weapons. They had quite an array of weapons too. I love the sniper rifle shot, as you can see, blows the head clean right off. It has shotguns, as you can dual wield shotguns and machine guns, dual wielding revolvers, which is always a good thing. The weapons are pretty cool. It had a jump mechanic, as you saw. I really wish that they would have implemented like a Max Payne style where it slows down time and stuff when you do jump. But I think that would have just made the game probably more fun, because the jump's kind of useless in this.
Thought you'd never get here, Castle. Looking for someone.
Where's Kingpin, Bullseye?
The big guy can't see you now, Castle, but I've made room for you in my schedule.
Get out of the way.
Or what? You'll scowl me to death? I don't miss, you know. Too bad you can't say the same.
Hard to miss a guy with a target on his forehead.
Back then, the game got a lot of flack for being repetitive and linear. A lot of games back then were linear, but I can understand the repetitiveness. The game definitely has that for it, but with all the different variations of kills and weapons you can use, and like the enemies you fight and stuff like that, I think the game was really, really good. Obviously, you're fighting Bullseye here, and he's really hard to get a hit in. The game did have opportunities to do some stealth stuff, but it was really hard, because like you would shoot a couple people, but they would usually always hear it, even when you had silence weapons, and there wasn't any kind of way to hide the bodies or anything like that, so you would usually get caught. I really enjoyed just lucking a grenade down there and taking about 3 at once, and then you drop down and just kind of get the heads up on everybody.
No job's worth this hassle.
Why is Bullseye here?
Huh? How the hell can I know? Kingpin doesn't tell me anything. Kingpin hired him for protection. He's got some special kind of armor.
Hey, Frankie, about time you got here. Looks like you're limping a bit there, Frankie. Wanna play catch, Frankie?
The game does have its own rage meter, and after you build it up, it kind of goes into this slow-mo thing where you can just chuck knives at people. Usually the people can barely move, but I guess where it was Bullseye, he was able to just keep moving at normal speed. But it does come in handy if you run into like a lot of guys and you're kind of surrounded and you don't have that much health, because usually 1 or 2 knives and they'll go down. Aside from some minor glitches and a little repetitiveness, this is definitely a PlayStation 2 gem. It's one of the best Punisher games of all time. The only other one I know right offhand that was any count was maybe the Sega Genesis game. The first-person shooter I would even consider to be a Punisher game is more Unreal Tournament than anything else. But if you guys haven't played this game is definitely worth picking up, especially if you enjoy a little violence in your games.
Now it's my turn.
And this was my first Blast from the Past episode featuring the Punisher for PlayStation 2. I'm gonna start doing this series where I can do a lot more games and show a lot more games. This way, instead of trying to play playthroughs and walkthroughs and things of that nature, this way I can show a lot more games, and maybe there's some games people will be interested in picking up. I'm not doing any kind of emulation. These games are running on their system, running to my HDMI converter, and then to my Elgato HD60, and then into my computer. So there's not any emulation or anything like that. This is the legit game that I'm playing. But I guess I'll shut up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, like, subscribe. I'm gonna leave you off with one mission where you fight the Russian and let you guys just watch that mission. It's actually kind of a cool spot from that was actually based off the movie that came out around the same time as this game. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.
Any last requests, big boy? The Punisher flying rough! You can't do better than that! You heard me! You stupid American pig! Your best shot! Let's have it! Russian smash!
it on you. That's not good.